Well, hey, you guys. So other than, hey, Rachel, where are your earrings from? Or can you link that dress from Amazon? We want it. Those are the most common questions that I get when it comes to life on social media. But besides those, investing is the next. I mean, beyond budgeting and getting out of debt, investing is always the top question that I get when it comes to money. Now, it can be tricky to understand this topic at first, but once you grasp the basics of investing and you know all of your options, you will be unstoppable when it comes to wealth building. So today I'm going to respond to a couple of your investing questions, and be sure to watch till the end and let me know in the comments if I missed anything that you're still wondering about. And stick around to hear about my go-to tips for investing, no matter where you are in the process. So I'll do this every now and then. On Instagram, I'll just say, hey, ask me a question. And these that you're about to hear were questions from you all via Instagram when it comes to investing. So the first one is, when, where, and how can I open up a Roth IRA if I don't have this option through work? So a Roth IRA you can do completely as an individual. You have to be working and making an income in order to qualify for a Roth IRA. But also, if you're married, if your spouse stays at home, they can qualify for a spousal Roth IRA, which is great. So what you would do, I would suggest that you sit down with an investment professional and look at your entire investment strategy completely, everything from your 401k at work or 403b to the Roth IRA. I mean, look at everything and have them help you. That would be the best option, in my opinion. All right, the next question is, I'm a teacher with a pension and a 403b, and I'm wondering if it's a good idea to start a Roth IRA as well. So the way I would answer this question is to say, if you are debt-free with a fully funded emergency fund, I want you investing 15% of your income. And so what you're going to do is go up to the match of your 403b. Your pension, I would cut in half. So take that percentage that you're getting pension-wise and cut it in half towards your 15%, because that is money going towards retirement, which is great, but you also have no control over where they're investing that money when it comes to your pension, and I want more options for you. So if you have more of that 15% that's not allocated, then I would open up a Roth IRA and invest in that as well. So you could technically have 3 accounts, which is great. But again, the key here is that you're investing up to 15% of your income. Next is, when or after which step do you recommend converting a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA? Will I be penalized for doing this? Okay, so I love the Roth IRA, and quickly what that means, Roth means basically tax-free. You're like sheltered from taxes, which means you are putting money in. You can put up to $7,000 in this year. And what you're taking is money that's already been paid taxes on your income. So your income comes in, you pay taxes, whatever hits your account, that's the money you use to fund your Roth IRA, which means the growth within that is completely tax-free. So if you're starting this early, you're going to have so much growth. You're going to have more growth in that funds versus what you put in the principal. So I think that this is so important. I think it's really key to do a Roth IRA. Now, a traditional IRA is taken out before you pay taxes. So you almost don't even really see it. And then money hits your checking account, and whatever's there is yours to live off of. But the problem is, whatever the growth is in the traditional IRA, you're going to pay taxes on when you pull it out at 59.5 or whenever you take money out, which is going to be a lot. You're going to pay a lot of taxes. So again, there's a lot of debates between this on what you should do depending on your tax bracket and all of it, but I'm a fan of the Roth. So if you're going to convert it, again, I would sit down with an investment professional to talk about this, because if you're far down the line in a traditional, it actually may not be worth it, because you're going to be taxed. In order to roll it over to a Roth IRA, you're going to have to pay taxes, which means you're going to have cash. It's going to be taxed like ordinary income. So it's going to take a chunk of money. But again, on the offset of whatever's going to grow in that fund is going to offset the taxes you pay now, it's going to be worth it. But again, it's going to depend on your age and how much you have in there. The next question is, my husband withdrew the cash from his 401k from his old job. It was $9,000. We're currently on baby step 2. So should we just toss it at our debt? Yes, go ahead. If the cash is there, everything is going towards the debt. Now, remember you guys, if you move jobs, your 401k, do not cash it out, because you lose the benefit of all that growth. So the 401k, if you have it, just roll it over to a traditional IRA, like we just talked about earlier. So again, you're not paying taxes or anything. You're just rolling over, letting that sit there and grow over time. And then you can open up a new 401k at your new job. But do not cash it out next time, because you lose growth and you can be penalized. All right, next is, What is the best way to save for retirement as a stay-at-home mom? So this is a great question. So retirement specifically, if you don't have an earned income, but your spouse does, again, you can do that spousal Roth IRA is what I would recommend. But other than that, you may just be investing in traditional mutual funds or index funds at that point. So again, the retirement option really is when you have an earned income, but if you don't, there's really limited options. My daughter's going to college next year, debt-free, scholarships in a 529 fund. Great job. She bought her car in cash. Amazing. She has a couple of $1,000s in savings and works a part-time job for extra spending money. Should she start investing now? Well done. Golly, that's amazing. Okay, so while, again, I love investing, I love talking about compound interest, I love talking about the earlier you start, the better off you're going to be, all of that. But the truth is, when you are 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, there is a lot of life ahead of you and an expensive life, right? That transition from college to the real world, it's expensive. Maybe you get a new job, you got to move cities, there's moving costs, you're trying to figure out rent. And I mean, there's a lot to be said when it comes to entering in life. And so really the best investment you can make is in yourself, meaning having a lot of cash on hand when you're young is really, really helpful. And so what I would tell her to do is just put that in a high yield savings account. I understand the temptation of like, go ahead and invest it. I get it, but also I don't want her money stuck in an investment and in 3 years she actually really needs it for something. Again, it's going to put her in a hole. So I would rather her have it available. And then when she transitions out of college, she gets her first job, then she starts saying, okay, now we're going to be, investing in all of that. That money she saved as a teenager could be her baby step 3, which is a fully funded emergency fund. So maybe she has that cash there, check, and she can go straight to investing then. So investing at 21 versus, 19, she's going to be okay. So I would not invest now. My husband will lose the match if we roll over his 401k to his employer. Should we still move it? So I'm assuming that means his 401k from his old job. So if that's the case, I would just roll it over to a traditional IRA and then open up a new 401k, which hopefully then has a match. But if his new 401k doesn't have a match, I would still go ahead and invest it. I would just prioritize a Roth IRA over a non-matching 401k. The next is I'm investing 11% in retirement through work, and my company is matching 4% of that. So I'm sitting at 15% total. I don't feel like I have a lot of margin to do 15% on top of the match. So is that still good enough? So when we talk about the 15%, it does not include your employer's match. So technically you are investing only 11% of your income. So again, I understand, it is, margins are tight and all of that. So if it's for a season and it's what you can do to get by, that's great. But as your income starts going up, then I would still really hone in on that 15%. That needs to be your goal. Let's just say that. That needs to be your goal, is investing 15%. So you may not be in a current position today to cover everything you need and invest 15%, but I don't want you sitting at 11% long-term, because when we look at inflation, when we look at growth within funds, all of that, I want you to be in a really comfortable place at retirement age, and that 15% really is that magical number. The next is, how do I know when it is a good time to increase the percentage of money that goes towards retirement investing? Well, again, I always go back to that 15%. So I would do anything I could if you are debt-free with a fully funded emergency fund to max out and get to that 15% of your income. And really, that's what you need for retirement investing. Now, if you're down, the baby steps, and maybe you've, your kids' college is taken care of, maybe you've paid off your house even, and you're looking to invest, that's when you can really go in and invest in other things besides retirement. But that 15% specifically within retirement investments is really key. Now, the last question is one that really fascinates me because it's something that skeptics tend to wonder about. But before I share with you what that is, I want to tell you about one of our new sponsors that's joining the show, and that is Delete Me. So you guys, scammers are everywhere. It's crazy. And I'll admit, not too long ago, I was a little distracted and actually fell for a scam. Yes, hurt my heart a little bit, I know. And I know that, again, scams are common. There are places out there that are going to have your data. And so what you want to do is protect yourself. And so that is why I recommend Delete Me. This gives me such peace of mind because Delete Me finds and removes your personal info like your home address, phone numbers, and more from hundreds of data broker websites, helping protect you from spammers, scammers, and online thieves. And it potentially will be saving you a lot of time and even money to go through and say, oh my gosh, where is all my information? And can I just tell you, when you sign up with them, they're going to show you already all these places where your information is. I mean, it's crazy what is on the internet and how people can find you. So you gotta check out Delete Me. So if you go to joindeleteme.com/Rachel, you can get 20% off. That's joindeleteme.com/Rachel. All right, the final question is, does it ever make sense to invest in something other than retirement, like investing in mutual funds to save for a house? So it's a great question. And yeah, absolutely there is. But for a lot of people, again, that we talk to, it's like, okay, getting out of debt is a priority first, getting an emergency fund is next, and then making sure retirement is taken care of. So once those things are covered and your house is paid off and you're beyond that and you're just say, okay, where can I invest? There are places and great things you can invest in. Really, the two places I can tell you beyond retirement that Winston and I invest in is that we have just a standard mutual fund that we opened. Also, index funds is a great option too if you want to check those out, and paid for real estate, which is starting really, really small. It's not a great market for it to find great deals, but you can still find them out there. So if you wanted to do that, and whether you're knowledgeable in that area of life and you can do a flip and make some money, that's great. Or maybe you hold it for a rental. So I would invest back into the market in non-retirement funds or real estate. Those are the two places that I feel the safest. But no, if you're saving up for a house, usually if you're going to have a purchase within 5 years, I would just put money in a high yield savings account. But if it's going to be longer than 5 years and you're like, yeah, this money, let's just see if it grows, and you don't really need it for something specific, you could open up another fund like a mutual fund and just park some money there. Because here's the thing, you guys, no matter where you fall in the investing journey, whether you're still paying off debt, still working towards investing a full 15%, there are a few tools that I recommend in this process. So use Ramsey's investment calculator to really help you plan and track your investment goals, because this is a great place where you can put some numbers in and just see, hey, what if we did this and we let it grow for 10 years? What is it going to be? Or for retirement, hey, if we want this much at retirement, because this is how much we live off each year, what do we need to have? So again, it's a great tool to use. And also consider working with a pro. I'll be sure to leave the info that you need in the description so that you can get started making progress today. And if you haven't, be sure to check out my episode on investing for total beginners. So good luck, you guys, on your investment journey. And as always, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.